I had to come on camera and give my immediate reaction to the Denver Nuggets shocking the NBA world by not only firing their head coach, Michael Malone, but also their general manager, Calvin Booth, whose contract was up at the end of the season. So I'm finding out today that apparently it was no secret in NBA spaces that Calvin and Mike Malone didn't get along, right? And that pretty much culminated with the owner, majority, Josh Kroenke, essentially saying, you know what? We're not playing our best basketball. We've lost 4 games in a row. We're dealing with injuries. Mike Malone came out a couple weeks ago during a presser and pretty much said guys ain't putting in the work in the film room. It culminates with the owner saying, we're just going to cut ties with both of you guys, which is very uncommon. Like, if you got an issue with 2 dudes not seeing eye to eye, usually we see teams pick. And I would have thought under those scenarios, with Mike Malone being the winningest head coach in Denver Nuggets franchise history, he would have been the guy to pick to stay. It's also the only head coach JOKIC has ever had, which I got to get to Nikolai in a second, because I do believe this firing will have huge implications on a few different things with JOKIC. But just from a basketball perspective, I want to highlight how hard the job gets when you have an all-time great around. And this really ain't got nothing to do with basketball, but we'll use it in a basketball connotation for what we're talking about. But anytime a company has an all-time great talent in it, life gets hard because the expectations immediately go up. And I think the moment the Denver Nuggets franchise realized, oh, wait, this dude Jokic wasn't just in it for one championship. Like, he's great the whole decade. They're thinking, 1 ain't enough. We got 1, baby. Can we squeeze 2? And I just hate that it ended up costing Michael Malone, to me, one of the most passionate coaches in the NBA, probably going to end up landing in San Antonio, by the way, in the post-Popovich era. I hate that it cost a great coach his job. I hate that Jokic loses his coach. Honestly, I'm pretty much frustrated with Adam Silver in the league. A lot of what happened today with Michael Malone and Calvin Booth getting fired, in my opinion, goes back to this new collective bargaining agreement. What the heck do I mean by that? It's so tough to make trades right now. It's so tough to keep your own players. What happened to the Denver Nuggets pretty much the last few seasons is their roster got picked apart. And it's kind of the opposite of what we usually see. Usually teams lose stars, right? The Denver Nuggets lost role players. They lost a Bruce Brown. They lost a Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. 2 important cogs to that puzzle, and they just were not able to replace those dudes. See, I'm not ever upset about the CBA stopping guys from going out and just signing anybody, but what I don't like is when these things start to affect teams signing their own players. I believe a team should be able to sign as many of their own guys as possible and not be penalized severely from a luxury tax perspective. Because Josh Kroenke, the Nuggets majority owner, he could have signed Bruce Brown. He could have re-signed Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. But the luxury tax bill, which is a update in the CBA, would have been so significant to be in that second tax apron. You're not making any money as an organization, right? You're losing. And that's the difficulties of the NBA. And I know the Bruce Brown decision to not sign him technically happened before this new CBA took place, but everybody obviously knew that CBA was coming down the pipeline, so teams were starting to think financially ahead. That's what I think this story's about. A Nuggets team that was primed to make a few runs at this thing, but because of the fact that their essentially core 7 roster got picked apart, and you're left with the starting 5 for the most part. But, I mean, Jamal Murray's hurt a lot. Aaron Gordon's pretty much guaranteed 1 pretty serious injury a year, although he's been really, really good when he's been there. We know Michael Porter Jr. has had issues with his back. To be fair to the brother, he's actually been playing his healthiest basketball of the year. And then there's Jokic, who's just phenomenal. So we think about the injuries. The Jamal Murray injury, I think he's missed the last 6 games right now, which to me even makes it crazier that they fired a coach when one of your star players is out. You add that to the fact that Jokic, I never thought of Jokic being a guy to go to any other team outside of Denver. I would have thought this dude probably is going to play 12, 13 years and then leave the sport, right? I don't look at him as a guy that's going to play 37, 38, 39 of years of age. I look at him as a one franchise guy, and whenever something goes wrong with that one franchise, cool. 33, 34, I've won 3, 4 MVPs. I've won a championship or 2. I'm done. I'm one of the greatest ever. I thought that's how he'd ride off in the sunset. But now I don't know. Again, Jokic has only ever played for Michael Malone. It looks like Josh Kroenke went rogue. I'm going to assume, I don't know this, obviously I'm not privileged to this. I'm going to assume the Nuggets ownership group made this decision without the cosign from their all-time great player in Jokic. That's concerning. There is no way Jokic would have signed off on a new coach coming in a week and a half before the playoffs, which continues this trend that we're seeing in the NBA that started a few weeks ago. Grizzlies fired Taylor Jenkins, right? Clearly with no consent of Ja, Dylan Brooks, or Desmond Bane. They all said it. And now the Nuggets fire Michael Malone, clearly with no consent of Nikola Jokic and or Jamal Murray. Clearly. Nobody would be good with this. They would say, just wait till the offseason, give us one last playoff run, and let's reassess. No player would want this. This is not going to put a battery in the back of grown men a week or so left in the season. It's not going to do that. We'll see what happens to Denver. I watch a lot of Nuggets games, and if I don't watch the game, y'all know we do the highlight on the channel. I'm telling y'all, this is a team that is 4th place out west right now, but they haven't been playing their best basketball all year. There's been a lot of Jokic hero ball. I think there's a bigger conversation going on in Denver about players getting tired of everything being ran through Jokic. Essentially, in Mike Malone's system, it sets Jokic up to get a triple-double every night, a big one at that. And look, he's an all-time great. He deserves to average the triple-double that he's averaging. He's putting the work in. He's available. But guys are humans, and everybody's not going to be good with every single night. You really don't got a chance at 4 or 5 assists because Jokic got 14, 15 assists. Every single night you don't got a chance at 30 points because Jokic got 28, 30 points, right? Like, everybody's not going to be good with that every night. These are human beings that are, and then you look at the Nuggets rotation. Michael Porter Jr. was the man in high school. Michael Porter Jr. was the man at Mizzou, or at least he was going to be the man before he got hurt. You look at guys like Jamal Murray, obviously the man. Like Aaron Gordon, the man, right? Like, those things don't leave. Russell Westbrook, by the way, off that Nuggets bench, he's been the man his whole life and definitely still in his mind. Like, I'm looking at this Nuggets team. I'm just looking at the realities of what they've become, which is Jokic or bust. And I don't think guys in the locker room are good with that. I don't. They're like, what the hell am I going to watch film for? In the day, the game plan going to be pass the ball to Jokic. That's the game plan. If you tell Jokic to watch film, shit, the ball in his head is 22 to 24 seconds any damn way. Why the hell I need to watch film? We know what we're going to do on offense. What's the point? I hate this for Denver. But it is the reality of basketball business, I guess, at this point in the game. And the Nuggets are no different. And if you're watching Nuggets basketball, you see what I've seen. They're the 4th seed, but I mean, look at it from this perspective. Look at what's happened out west. Okay, the Nuggets they beat up on the Phoenix Suns over the last few seasons in the playoffs. They beat them a couple times over. Phoenix ain't gonna be in the playoffs. Okay, you look at Minnesota, the team that Denver lost to last year. Okay, Minnesota got Julius Randle. In theory, he's gonna be better for Minnesota in the playoffs. Cat never really destroyed that matchup against Denver. The T-Wolves were able to beat the Nuggets in spite of Cat. Okay, keep it going. The Nuggets, Jamal Murray and Jokic, never wanted no smoke with Luka and the Mavs. Never. I don't care who Luka had around him. Okay, forget the Mavs. Luka's on the Lakers now. And speaking of the Lakers, Luka and LeBron, it seems like a problem for the Nuggets. Lakers couldn't beat the Nuggets for years. Minute you add in Luka, you take away AD, now the Lakers are undefeated against the Nuggets. And by the way, another guy that the Nuggets have been able to beat up was Anthony Davis. He's gone from that matchup, right? And then you're looking around the Western Conference like, who the hell are the Nuggets going to be able to beat? They actually have had a lot of success against the Golden State Warriors. I'm going to call bluff on that because Jimmy Butler ain't been around for most of that matchup. And I believe Jimmy Butler can take Jamal Murray out of a series in the postseason. I'm looking around. You think the Houston Rockets? Nuggets have had some struggles with Houston, right? OKC? Nuggets play OKC pretty well, but OKC can get the better of them as well. Who the hell the Nuggets going to beat in the playoffs is the question right now. And I think that owner thought it was time to make a change. I just don't, the timing, I don't like this trend. I don't like this wave at all. I don't think you can do business like that. I don't. You cannot do that to the guy who's the most winningest head coach in your franchise. I don't like it. I don't like it. Time will tell if it was a work or not. All right? I'm out. If you love flexing your sports knowledge, you should head over to the best place to play fantasy sports and win some money while you're at it. That's Underdog. For me, I love the pick'em game. It's super simple to play too. All you got to do is go to the Underdog website or app. You got to pick whether a player will have a higher or lower stat line for that specific game. You get your picks right, and you can win up to 1,000 times your money. And when you sign up, if you use your boy's promo code, which is Pharaoh, your deposit will get matched up to $1,000 is available to you in bonus cash. You can't beat that. Tap in with Underdog. My promo code is Pharaoh.